wrestling fans.
Los Ingobernables de Japón.
I'll be hyped as a bitch. What a week it's been. So much to talk about.
How do you top a 6-star match in January at the Tokyo Dome? You go to a 60-minute draw at Dominion. This is Strong Honor. My name is Tommy Stryker. I am the host. Joining me are the hosts of my other podcast, the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Hashtag the best.
Taco is here.
What up?
That was Joe you just heard as well.
What's up?
And yeah, lots to talk about.
Hey, there's no draws in Lucha Underground, just saying.
We are doubling down on podcasts this week. We're going to do the Strong Honor later today after we watch SmackDown. We're going to record the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. We'll do predictions for Money in the Bank. But right now, we are talking Dominion and Ring of Honor. We will get to Dominion, but I kind of want to sneak in the Ring of Honor talk this week's TV show first, because this was, again,
ROH out of nowhere.
Well, it's again, there's all this great Dominion stuff to talk about, the big main event, the 60-minute draw, but Ring of Honor TV kind of ties into this, even though it was recorded a month ago before the Best of the Super Juniors. We finally got the main event this week between Kushida and Marty Scurll for the Ring of Honor TV title. We all knew Kushida would win, but it was still a fun match to watch.
I'm glad they put crowd reactions of Skrull fans, though, at that, because a lot of them were doing, like, the Undertaker lost kind of expression. Like, did we just see that? Like, so, like, it helped.
So, yeah, the big title change at the 2300 Arena, the former ECW Arena, that finally aired this week, where Kushida debuted the Back to the Future, the small package driver that he used throughout the tournament and used at Dominion, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Oh, God, so many good matches from Dominion to get to. But, yeah, this week's Ring of Honor TV started off with the Young Bucks and Hangman Page teaming up, Bullet Club guys there, against Roppongi Vice and their surprise partner, Chuck Taylor.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so Chuck Taylor is a longtime partner of Beretta, Trent Beretta, the best friends, as they were known as in PWG and elsewhere. So him kind of bringing that, tying into Ring of Honor, and again teasing the dissension between Rocky Romero and Beretta that kind of went into Dominion, although they were not successful retaining the IWGP Junior Heavyweight titles. We'll get to that in a little bit here, but they did remain a good team in that match and after the match in their post-match promo. But this was a hell of a match.
Fuck yeah, dude.
On this week's Ring of Honor TV. If you don't have any opportunity to see New Japan stuff, watch this week's Ring of Honor stuff, because this is what a Young Bucks match was. And they did a lot of the same spots in this match that they do in the Young Bucks versus Roppongi Vice from Dominion. It was almost like a preview to that match. But yeah, Romero is butthurt that he's in the dark about the partner at the beginning, and then Chuck Taylor coming out, the Kentucky gentleman. Beretta says this is his real partner and his best friend. The Bucks take advantage of the dissension that's going on between Beretta and Chuck Taylor in the match to take advantage, get the heat on Beretta or on Romero. Rocky breaks up the pin attempt after more bang for your buck, and so he gets back into being a part of the team later in the match. After an insane sequence of moves, there's a Gotch pile driver in there for a near fall. Taylor gets the win with a flipping pile driver and over one of the Young Bucks, and then everybody hugs after the match. But again, a crazy, good, fun match this week to open up the Ring of Honor TV show.
Good win for him, too.
Yeah, good debut for Chuck Taylor. I had not seen a ton of Chuck Taylor.
He was just at that WrestlePalooza X, so it was
right.
I tweeted out, I'm glad I don't really look into spoilers on stuff, because, that was a good kind of pleasant surprise me. Like, I just fucking saw this dude. Now he's on Ring of Honor. Sweet.
The Kingdom do a promo on Dalton Castle because they're going to be facing. It's going to be the Kingdom versus the Boys next week on Ring of Honor TV. So they kind of cut a promo on the Boys, and
the boys are in some hot water right
boys
now.
Are in a lot of hot water. But Taven kind of hopes that Dalton will show up.
And I hope Dalton Castle comes down because I got a little song for him.
What's the name of the song?
It's called I Got Punched in the Face for Sticking My Nose in Other People's Business. Sounds like a country song. You get it.
So a rare good moment from the from Taven
These
and his
fuckers are
crew.
growing on me, though, man. I gotta tell you.
Oh, you're just a Melvin. So yeah, but yeah, they got some fun little moments. Marcelia with that promo a couple of weeks back. This was like a while ago now. The Marcelia promo with the big dog promo. Did I get rid of it? Is it on here? If I got rid of it, that's a shame. I don't see it on here.
Goddamn shame.
I must have got rid of the damn thing. But yeah, fun stuff from those guys. Jay White had a really good promo talking about his training, the New Japan Dojo, and having great matches with Jay Briscoe and Will Ospreay. And he's very upset that Punishment Martinez came in at the pay-per-view after the pay-per-view and attacked him and Ospreay. So a very good Jay White promo there. Talking about that situation. Shane Taylor and Rhett Titus took on Search and Destroy. Then it was Jonathan Grisham and Jay White. They brawl outside before the bell. Long heat on Gresham. White body slams the bigger Shane Taylor, the much bigger Shane Taylor, and gets a near fall with a double senton. It ends up being a DQ. Kenny King comes out and attacks. Motor City Machine Guns get involved, and then the Motor City Machine Guns challenge the four of that, the Shane Taylor, Rhett Titus, Kenny King, and Caprice Coleman. What's the Rebellion? They challenge them to a loser must break up the faction at Best in the World on June 23rd.
Cool.
Yeah, I hope, to be honest with you, the Search and Destroy thing doesn't do a ton for either team. The babyface or the heel team really doesn't do a ton for me here, so I don't have much
The intriguing thing with the babyface, though, is Motor City Machine Gun in there.
Right, so I suppose if Motor City Machine
cool
Guns
there.
have to break up, that might be an interesting thing. Although everybody wants to see that Rebellion break up because I think everybody needs and wants to see Rhett Titus go back to the romantic touch gimmick because
See, I feel like that's good heat for them, though, to win that, though.
That's probably the way it would go. Kazarian is very excited to whip Hangman Page Moore during their strap match coming up at Best in the World. Now,
Nice.
I heard that somewhere they're not going to do a traditional strap match where you have to hit all four corners and you're tied together. Apparently, they're just going to have each going to have a strap, and they're just going to use it to beat the shit out of each other during the match. I'd expect a lot.
Simplify things. I like it.
Maybe just go for pins and submissions with straps and spit on each other some more because I know Joe likes that.
It's good stuff.
Jay Briscoe cuts a very passionate and angry promo on the Boys. He is upset at the Boys for causing the loss in the six-man match the previous week, or whatever. It was the eight-man match because it was Dalton Castle with the Briscoes and Bully Ray all in there. And
Boys, I tell you.
he is really upset, and he can cut an intense promo.
I want y'all to picture something. I want y'all to picture this for me. You got a 2-time Ring of Honor World Champion. You got an 8-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion. And you got currently 1/3 of the Ring of Honor 6-man champions that just got beat. Jay Briscoe just got beat. And damn it, I don't get beat that often. But the problem is, the reason I got beat is because of these two little punk-ass known as the Boys. Dalton Castle's Boys. Y'all little pansy ass caused me to get beat. Hell no. Y'all boys don't realize what y'all getting into. I swear to you, boys, I will eat you alive.
That's not very PG.
No, it certainly is not. But I expect perhaps some interference from Briscoe during the match next week between the boys in the Kingdom. Yes. So we'll tune in for that. All right, we got to talk New Japan and this Dominion show and all the fallout and what's coming up and all of it.
King of Sport. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I think it's only fair that we start with the main event because we've buried the lead long enough, and we'll kind of work our way backwards through this thing.
I got to point something out right away.
Go for it.
I was watching this match. Wife's playing on the phone, reading, whatever. And we're good, 50 minutes in. And she points out, wow, this is ridiculously long. And I'd already known, what the outcome was. And I just go, yeah, and it sucks that there's going to be no winner. She was so pissed off that I was watching a match that's an hour long with no winner.
I was great. I was able to avoid all spoilers, and I didn't get to watch this until Monday afternoon or Monday midday is when I started watching this.
Dude, the time difference fucks with you because I was kind of used to the Super Junior tournament, fucking waking up Saturday New Japan's on. Fucking did the same thing this week and woke up early Saturday. Yeah, there's fucking nothing. Shit, that's tomorrow.
Right?
God.
But yeah, I was able to avoid all the spoilers for this, and I was watching it basically like it was live or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that was really cool for me. And I get about halfway through this thing, and I'm looking at how much time is left on this show. This thing's like a 5 hour some odd show, and I get about halfway through the match. I'm thinking, these guys could go the full fucking hour. Mm-hmm. And, they get to, 15 minutes left. And I'm like, Jesus, how can they go 15 more minutes? 10 minutes left. How could they go 10 more minutes? When there was 2 minutes left, I'm like, how? How do they get to the there's no way. There's no way they can even go 2 more minutes. So, God, it was just absolutely insane. I took notes, but I mean, come on. I got a full page, but seriously, I mean,
there's so much to talk about. I mean,
well, let's start with the idea that nobody thought that they could top what they did at Wrestle Kingdom, and everybody's saying this top that you go an hour. Of course, that's much greater, and they did a lot of the same ideas that they did at Wrestle Kingdom. Like they teased doing that dragon suplex off the top, but he could never quite hit it. Kenny Omega did finally hit the one-winged angel, but it was so close to the ropes that Okada was able to get his foot outside the ropes. I don't know how many Rainmakers Okada did hit eventually, but I think it was the first or second one that he did hit, Omega fucking kicked out of, which nobody kicks out of the fucking Rainmaker. We've talked about how they have protected the Rainmaker in New Japan so much. It's just a simple short arm clothesline. It has grown on Joe. He didn't it's just a fucking clothesline. It's just a lariat. It's just a short arm.
That's all it is.
But it's been so well protected and nobody's kicked out of it. And now finally Kenny Omega kicks out of it in this match. So there was that. What else? The table spot. How they teased the big, Omega, he did the big dive into the table at Wrestle Kingdom, and they teased that again. But this time it was Okada setting him up on the table and hitting that big elbow drop. So they do a lot of the same things, but switch it up a bit.
I gotta say, specifically the moonsault that Omega saved too, which was just beautiful. Go on the website, either the American one or just the New Japan one, and look at the fucking photos for this match. Wow. NJPW1972.com is the English website, and the website where you subscribe and watch all the videos, that's NJPWWorld.com. So two different websites, and there's a lot of free stuff on NJPWWorld.com that we'll kind of get into because I've got a lot of the pre- and post-match promos. Let's talk about that. Omega said going into this match that I want to beat Okada at 100%.
I don't want to beat Okada at 90%, 80%, 70, 20, 30. I want you at your best. Hell yeah. Because beating you at your best means that I not only beat the shining golden boy of New Japan, I beat this entire motherfucking company. Yep. How many people can truly say they did that? No one. AJ didn't. No. He needed help from Yujiro. Naito didn't. He needed help from Sanada. who can honestly say they beat Okada man to man? I will be the first, and I will solidify my legend in this business. I'm sorry that we love.
So yeah, Omega's attitude going into the match was even. I did not see the Road 2 show, but I heard there was a spot in there where he was going to hit the one-winged angel into a table or something, but then decided not to because he wants Okada at 100% going into the match. And so they do the hour-long match, and then after the match, I love this. Omega is he's so defeated, even though he didn't technically lose the match.
It's so funny. I thought it was my time. I really did. I thought it was my time. I thought it was my time tonight. I did everything I could. I said so many bad things about you, Okada. I really did. And even if they were all true, I couldn't beat you. Couldn't beat you. So you get your wish. You can be Sakai no Okada. Until I'm ready, I will leave. I will stay in New Japan. Fight my way from the bottom. Get bigger. Get better. Get stronger. And only when I know I can beat you, I'll come back. But for now, Okada, I hate to say it, you win. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you, Young Bucks. Thank you, Bullet Club. I failed you as a leader. No. Don't say that. It was a hell of a match.
Dude, you didn't lose, man. You didn't lose.
The whole time he's laying on the floor. The guy can barely move. The guy can barely speak.
Those awkward noises were the water bags and ice bags, by the way.
Water bags, ice bags. It's a press conference setting, so people are taking photos and everything.
It just sounds so awkward when you're listening to it, not seeing them.
Right. I want to talk specifically about the end of the match, and I think it was before the show, Joe. You were talking about the knees that Kenny Omega hit towards the end there. Talk about what you told us during.
Well, just the fact that I always get, the simple razzing from people, just that, wrestling's not real, predetermined, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
But I'm showing them today, I'm like, if you want to say wrestling's fake, just watch this and look at it. Don't just watch it, listen to it. Just listen to the noise that the third knee that he takes to Okada's face. Because even the first two are fucking brutal knees, but the last one he just connects like almost knockout shot.
I talked about how it was phenomenal watching this match because as soon as you don't think they have anything else to do, they pulled something out. Like I feel like it was a half hour into the match before Okada even hit his big drop kick that he's known for. Like that was a big saved spot. But then he hit like 4 drop kicks and it wasn't enough. The finish itself was spectacular. Yeah. He hits the spinning tombstone, hits a bridging German suplex for a near fall. He finally hits another Rainmaker in the last minute, but he's so exhausted and he just can't get over to make the cover and the bell rings.
The arena fucking just was on fire the last 2 minutes of that fucking show.
Well, that's what was so beautiful about that the final seconds of it, though, because it's just the camera shot too was so brilliant of him just crawling there, because it's like, the timer goes out and you're still looking at the screen like, crawl, keep going, like please, like, oh my god, no. It's just fucking. It just reminded me of like Omega's thing is the Terminator thing. It reminded me of vice versa, of like Okada being the crawling fucking Terminator. Like that's what that shit reminded me of. So it was great.
Yeah. An insane match. I can't wait to watch it again. I've only had a chance to watch it once, but you got to set aside an hour. It's one of those things. But
it's a dedication.
I'm very excited to watch that and several matches on this show. Let's talk semi-main event, and we can bounce around here too, but Tetsuya Naito defending the Intercontinental title against Hiroshi Tanahashi. What a story here. Naito winning the IC title and resenting that championship. We've talked about it on this show ad nauseum, how he hates that title. Ever since the fans voted that title to go to the main event, it was Shinsuke Nakamura and Tanahashi in the main event, and Okada and Naito in the semi-main for the IWGP heavyweight title. So Naito has resented that title. He doesn't give a fuck. He throws it around. He beats it up. He has destroyed the belt, essentially. And here comes Tanahashi, wanting to bring honor back to that title. Referencing Shinsuke in the match a couple of times, just with a couple of hand gestures. A great story, a great match. Tanahashi getting the win with a clover leaf. A fantastic, unexpected tap-out loss for Naito here. What did you think of this one, Taco?
It was fucking awesome just right off the bat. I liked that the good guy was, having to go to heel tactics, get that belt back right off the bat.
I mean, it's a very similar story. We'll talk about Kushida and Hiromu Takahashi's match, but very similar here with Tanahashi just being like, you know what, fuck you, and the way you treat that belt, attacking him on the entrance. He's got the suit on and everything.
The guy is just honors pouring out of his pores.
Yes. It was so interesting because the Osaka crowd, the story there too, how when Naito was supposed to be the babyface back in the day, when the crowd voted that Tanahashi and Nakamura go to the main event, Osaka just wasn't feeling Naito as the main as a babyface. Now that he's in this role as heel, they have embraced him.
Yeah,
but
one of the best characters in New
But the
Japan.
greatest part about this match is the way Tanahashi was like, fuck you, fuck this shit, and attacks him before the match. The
Right.
crowd was immediately behind Tanahashi because that was so cool.
Still in a suit and everything.
So out of character for Tanahashi. So it was so perfect because Naito instantly had the heat now. He's the heel that he's supposed to be. Tanahashi's this over babyface for attacking him before the match. So it just made for a really fun, great story. Naito is going after the injured arm the whole time. We talked about
it.
Talked about the biceps injury. There's this part of me that thinks I'm getting worked. They talked about they talk about the injury, this bicep injury happening at the Ring of Honor show that's yet to air next week probably. But him taking time off and then coming back, working this match, whether it's legit or not, it's such a great story.
I liked how I actually did listen to it, the American commentary first.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched most the major matches.
I can't
twice
wait to watch
now.
it in Japanese.
But
too.
yeah,
the English,
dude.
The English is it's nice to watch because it's not the best commentary, but you get so much extra information.
I love Kevin Kelly, but who's the other guy?
Cyrus. He's
It might have been Cyrus
Just
that pointed
no
out,
Cyrus.
but it was he pointed out though about the injury. He was like, it's a good thing that it's just a tear and not worse, because it's just the pain is just pretty much like having to wrestle with like a stone in your in your boot. So it's just like, okay, kind of thanks for putting me in that position to kind of compare the pain a little bit, because it's like, yeah, that sucks. It can be really annoying and painful, but no wonder why he's still doing these extravagant moves.
Yeah. Tanahashi's working Naito's right leg, which is all taped up. He's hitting it with a ton of dragon screws. They're doing hard slaps to the face. Naito's ear is bleeding. He escapes the Destino. They hit a bocce Destino towards the end. Then he hits a German suplex on his head. Then a second rope Destino for a near fall. Then two sling blades. The Shinsuke high fly flow thing where he's shaking his hands like Shinsuke. That gets a near fall. And then finally the cloverleaf submission. They worked that superbly too, where he's almost getting to the ropes back and forth. They worked that cloverleaf for like 2 minutes. And so that was just a spectacular finish.
I'm excited to watch this match. It's one of the few I didn't get to.
Yeah, it's 5 stars.
It was almost a
really
damn
good.
shame that the Okada Omega match was on the same card, because it took all the thunder from that match.
It's really fascinating because you talk about I mean, I gave it 5 because I'm not Dave Meltzer. I can't throw out 6, 7 stars. That's not my job. I just say the damn thing is must watch. 5 stars. So,
Yeah,
but
just that story and that match itself was a main event.
That match, this match, the Kushida and Hiromu Takahashi match was good. The
Exactly.
fucking Young Bucks match was 4 stars for me. So this match, this whole card is full of great stuff.
I like that on New Japan, the 1972, they do the transcripts of what they say. You know, they type out everything.
I haven't had a chance to
very
check that
nice
out yet.
layout. I was trying to pull up on my phone what Naito pretty much said after the match. You know, Tanahashi was just honored, blah, 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 the good guy stuff.
Right.
Naito was just like, your belt now. Fuck you, I'm off. That's so good.
And even going into the match in Naito's promos, he was saying stuff like, well, I'm destroying the belt because we got the new IWGP US title. Why we're getting another title anyway. We don't need this title. If I win the match, I'm just going to see if New Japan will just disband this championship because I don't care about it. I don't really want it. And so, fuck it. And so I like that after the match, he's like, fuck it anyway.
Whatever.
So, but
awesome.
where does Naito go from here? G1 Climax, a big chance to he'd be a great contender to win that now. So yeah, where do things go from
He
here?
goes to the upper tier, man.
And then Tanahashi,
He's already in the upper tier.
he is, and Tanahashi's going to be defending the IWGP IC title versus Billy Gunn. I think that's on the second here. Let me pull it up here. I got it everything ready here. I just got to pull it up. We got our bracket for the U.S. tournament. We'll talk about that in a second, but let's see. Yeah, the Tanahashi will be defending that on the second versus Billy Gunn. So that'll be
It's
fun.
neat.
Yep.
It's not bad.
Moving backwards through the show here as we go. Hirooki Goto versus Minoru Suzuki. This really felt like, and as I talked to you guys before we started recording, this felt like a buffer match, a calm down match after the Kushida Hiromu Takahashi. 3 stars. They called it a lumberjack death match. It was just a straight up lumberjack match. 4 guys on each side. So Goto having the Chaos guys with him, Suzuki with the Suzuki Gun guys. All the typical Suzuki Gun bullshit. And Suzuki does get the win with the jumping gotch pile driver. At one point, it wasn't enough heat to have all this Suzuki Gun bullshit going on, but Tai Chi, who was not one of the 4 original lumberjacks, he comes out anyway and gets involved, brings the damn whiskey bottle, ends up spitting whiskey in the wrong guy's face anyway. But it was what it was. It wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a good match. It was a Suzuki Gun shenanigans match, and
Whiskey.
Suzuki retains.
He had a good promo too afterwards, just pretty much like, fuck you all, like, come for it, I hate you all, I'll go through hell and back,
well,
like,
and
you're never taking this from me.
And one of the other members of Chaos, Yoshihashi, ended up in the ring taking out all the Suzuki Gun members after the match. So it's going to be Yoshihashi versus Minoru Suzuki for the never openweight title on one of the upcoming Road to Kizuna Road shows or whatever that they're doing. They're doing they're doing 3 shows at Korakuen Hall, and I got the dates right here.
Well, just pull it right up.
I still have it pulled up. So Suzuki's going to defend the never openweight championship against Yoshihashi on June 26th at the Kizuna Road show. So, all right, let's talk Kushida versus Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP Junior title. Another 5-star match.
Must watch.
Very, very good. Kushida counters Takahashi's fast start with hard strikes. So Kushida trying to slow down the hard and fast, the fast start of Takahashi just by fucking hitting him. And I liked how on the English commentary they talked about Kushida with his MMA background and just bringing it back to strikes and wrestling and playing his game.
And don't forget he's undefeated.
His undefeated MMA sequence came into play there. Kushida counters the sunset bomb into a cross arm breaker on the apron. He puts him in he grabs a chair and the crowd boos. The crowd was really behind Hiromu Takahashi.
Yeah, I was surprised. guess I didn't realize how over with the crowd he was.
Well, and again, the Osaka crowd is kind of the Chicago or Canada of New Japan. They tend to go for the heels or just whatever's kind of cool. And Takahashi and Los Ingobernables are cool. But
yeah,
you know,
pretty sweet.
Kushida is a good story, and I don't think they hated the Kushida thing. But they were booing when he went after the chairs, but I think they liked the spot he did where he just did that running drop kick, where he jumped
Busts him through that shit.
off of one chair into the other, and just busting into the guardrail. That was insane. The flipping hoverboard lock from the second rope, a spectacular back-and-forth sequence. Hiromu does hit the sunset bomb to the floor after Kushida attempts doing one, then the Death Valley driver into the buckle. He goes for the Back to the Future, but he can't cover him. Back-and-forth strikes and baseball punches. I finally figured out that that's called the baseball punch that Kushida does now when I would refer to the one punch that he would pull out in his matches. So I like that there's a name for it that I finally discovered. I'm horrible with names of moves.
There's just so much to fucking remember.
Right. I would be a horrible play-by-play guy because I can never remember the names of moves.
You got that
Clash of the
punch.
Exactly, the Clash of the Titan. What is your submission hold?
It's the Michinoku driver.
Right. So again, a great match. Kushida getting the win with the not with the Back to the Future. He getting the this is where he tapped him out again, right? The Danielson style hoverboard lock.
Yep.
And the hoverboard lock and the wrist manipulation.
Yep.
So two big tap out losses for the Los Ingobernables guys. And I love how that played into the main event too. Mm-hmm. You know, with these two guys tapping out. So every time submission holds were attempted during that main event, it was just like, oh my God, we already had 2 tap out submissions. Could there be another one? So just all that stuff kind of playing into the main event
just
storyline.
the whole card. I was telling Joe earlier, I just kind of felt like, I'm sure we're going to get into the other matches, the Bullet Club matches, but they just played towards the main event, too. So it's just like, I didn't even, really think about the submissions, too. Like, one
thing I wanted to mention in the main event that I didn't talk about here was the Cody angle in the Bullet Club. Cody coming out probably, probably about 40 minutes in or so, 45 minutes. And he's looking to throw in the towel. And the Bullet Club, the Young Bucks are stopping him. He doesn't need you to throw in the towel. But then all the Bullet Club guys are at ringside. And then when we talked about those knees, when Omega is hitting those knees to Okada's face, even like guys like Hangman Page are like wincing at ringside. It's their guy hitting the moves, but they're like, oh my God, the humanity. So it's just like the Bullet Club guys at ringside just adding to that atmosphere. And again, those guys being heels, and even Omega referencing that AJ Styles needed help to win the IWGP title. All the Bullet Club guys at ringside, but not getting involved in the match.
Once.
Just adds to the whole story.
Makes you think during an hour-long fucking wrestling match.
Right. So, speaking of the Cody thing, Cody defeated Michael Elgin. He hit
that was neat.
The crossroads after countering a deadlift suplex. Not a good match. 2 stars. Cody, to me, still doesn't feel like a main eventer. And after the match, if you watched the English commentary, Cody had a little thing to say.
Let the Almighty know. Daniels, let him know. Okada.
You said it. You heard it here first.
So I didn't like him calling out Okada before the match with Okada and Kenny, because to me it almost seemed like a spoiler that Okada was going to somehow retain the title to me. So, but I mean, there's ways you can tell the story, and I haven't seen this week's being the Elite yet to see if they get into what Cody did during the main event, wanting to throw in the towel on Omega. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out on the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega's YouTube show, where they tend to talk about these angles and drive these storylines. Losing it here.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you on the Cody being in the main event scene. It's like I like that he's doing what he's doing right now. Like he's just all over the place. Just mastering his craft essentially. But I almost want to see him against like Tanahashi.
Right? We talked about that.
Billy Gunn.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So it is going to be Okada versus Cody on the June 1st show. That's going to be the main event for the IWGP title. And people are freaking out because Cody has the match with Christopher Daniels at Best in the World. So is Cody the Ring of Honor champion going into this match? I don't think so. To me, Cody doesn't feel main event. And I think it would be a mistake for Ring of Honor to put the title on him. And there's no way. I will be shocked beyond anything else if they do anything like putting the IWGP title on Cody Rhodes. We saw the match with Michael Elgin. The people in the office at New Japan have eyeballs. They know that was not a main event match. Cody is not a main event guy. They're not putting Cody Rhodes over on Okada after having a 1 hour Broadway with fucking Kenny Omega. It's not happening. Everybody needs to calm down. Same thing with Billy Gunn in the match with Tanahashi. Yes, it's a title match. Yes, they're putting these guys in main events, Cody Rhodes and Billy Gunn, in America because those are names that are going to draw eyeballs to those Access TV shows that are on here in America. Familiar names, and what it's going to do is it's going to bring the eyeballs. People are going to see Okada. People are going to see Tanahashi and how awesome they are, and that's the idea. They're going to build the new stars.
They just had this mindset of going of New Japan, coming to America, and all these fucking great performances going on, and kind of expecting that happening here. It's like, no, it's still kind of gimmicky. They got to dip their water first. You know, they're hoping for an East Coast tour next. Well, like they're just hoping.
It doesn't help with Cody posting out the fact that he posted both the pictures of the title saying, 8 days this could happen.
8 days apart, yeah.
And one thing I will disagree with you guys a little bit. I think that while he is mastering his craft, I think that one good title win is going to could propel him. It's just these are not the opportunities.
And I agree with what you guys are saying about the Cody thing. Like, he has my respect. He is a good wrestler. He's a good promo. But he's just not main event yet. Maybe he could get there, but for me, he's not there yet.
He still needs build up to be in the main event scene. And
to me, his wrestling, it doesn't feel main event, especially in New Japan, even in Ring of Honor.
Clunky.
Yeah, it's just not there, and especially fucking Michael Elgin. I felt so bad because Michael, he had a really great post match promo. Let's see, where is Elgin? Elgin, there he is. Sorry.
After 2.5 months, I come back to Osaka. I come back to Osaka Joe Hall, where 1 year I beat Kenny Omega in a ladder match, and tonight he wrestles Okada in the main event while I was out there losing to Cody. Cody, maybe I took you lightly. Maybe you're better than I thought. Maybe you're better than everybody thinks. But Cody, the thing is, you might beat me once. I dare you. I dare you to try to beat me again.
So I like Elgin's comments there talking about bringing up the ladder match. I beat Kenny Omega in a ladder match a year ago. Now I'm out there losing to Cody. So I'm looking for the rematch between these two at the G1 Climax. Another thing I should talk about that I haven't yet, during these three upcoming Korakuen Hall shows, they're going to be announcing the participants for the G1 Climax and what blocks they're in and all of that. So we will know more and more about the G1 over the next few weeks leading up to these July 1st and 2nd shows. But like I said, I think Elgin, he should have a big G1. I mean, he really got over in Japan last year. And to me, this loss to Cody really hurts. I don't know. Your thoughts?
This is one of the matches I wasn't able to get to. I did read about it, and
don't go out of your way.
It was neat. I wasn't planning on it, but from what I read, I mean, everybody was rating it 2 stars, very low. And like you said, the thing about New Japan that I like is the submission wrestling, and I think that's the aspect that Cody is really missing to make his matches more fluid.
And not hard-hitting either. There was a spot in the match where Elgin takes down his straps and says, "Come on, motherfucker, hit me." And he had these weak little pussy chops. It was they were no good. It was
he's just, again, strong style. He's got to work on his actual strong style.
Yep. Gorillas of Destiny taking on War Machine for the IWGP tag team championships. Gorillas of Destiny getting the win here. I was disappointed just in the fact that I wanted to see War Machine go into their match with the Young Bucks, so it would be because they're going to be taking on each other at Best in the World for Ring of Honor. I wanted to see the IWGP Junior Champions take on the IWGP Heavyweight Champions. I thought that would be cool.
That would have been awesome.
Nevertheless, Gorillas of Destiny do get the win. It was with bullshit and chairs and a ref bump and Suzuki Gun style bullshit tactics. Or technically they're Bullet Club, so Bullet Club does have their fair share of bullshit in the match. Hot tag to Ray Rowe, hard hitting and no selling, fighting spirit and swearing. Decapitation for a near fall. They power bomb. I don't know. But sometimes my notes don't make sense. Hansen hits a top rope splash on Tama Tonga for a near fall after a power bomb. That's what it was. Bullet Club with both IWGP tag titles now, the Young Bucks and Gorillas of Destiny. After the match, again, War Machine were real pissed off here.
That's how you two want to play this? War? No rules? Violence? Weapons? Carnage? 2014. 50 miles an hour on a motorcycle. A car pulled in front of me. Every doctor, every surgeon, every medical professional said I should have died. I went through a windshield. I shattered my arm. I went through with my fucking face. You boys want to play with chairs? You boys want to play with weapons? Throw the fucking rules out? That's fine with War Machine. We tried to fight with honor. We tried to fight with respect. Let me tell you something about War Machine. We are hard to kill. Gorillas, you're fucking dead. What's ours will be ours. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Gorillas, if you have the balls, no disqualifications. Anything goes. War Machine.
So, yeah, looking for Long Beach. Sounds like it's going to be War Machine versus Gorillas of Destiny in a rematch. No disqualification. Let me look at the...
it's going to be mean as fuck.
Yep, that's going to be July 1st. So if they have the balls, it'll be no disqualification. We'll see if they answer the call. But a fun match between those two. The Young Bucks versus Roppongi Vice. Like I said before, gave this one 4 stars. A very good Young Bucks fucking crazy match. Yeah. Roppongi Vice, again, playing into the stuff that happened at the Tokyo Dome. The Tokyo Dome story was Trent Beretta going for that crazy fucking flip dive, missing it, nobody home, and landing back with his back on the edge of the fucking platform.
Yo. Why would you remind me of that?
So in this match, he goes for the same flip dive, actually hits it this time, but then the Young Bucks recover and they go after Rocky Romero. They hit beat
the dog shit out of him.
Beat the shit out of him. They hit the power bombs on the apron, several of those. They run his back into the post. They power bomb him on the big ramp that they have for Dominion. So that was the story of this match is the Young Bucks isolating Beretta by beating the shit out of Romero outside of the ring, going after the back, the apron bombs, all of that. And so it ended up being it was such a the fighting spirit on display for Beretta was so good because Rocky Romero at ringside was out for so long. He had nobody to tag, but then Beretta finally got on, Romero finally gets up on the apron, makes the tag, gets in, forever clotheslines, all that stuff, goes nuts. The spots that these guys pull off and the moves and the sequences, it's just insane. It's indescribable. You just have to see
art,
it.
my friend. It's art.
again, after the Young Bucks going crazy working the match, they end up submitting Rocky Romero. So another submission loss here on the show, playing into, the other submission losses and the potential for that in the main event. So
I liked it just because I don't see the Young Bucks using submissions for the win. You see them isolating and taking stuff out, but it's always the Meltzer driver.
Right.
But it was, I had a lot of fun with those. I felt like, honestly, this one was cut short compared to most Young Bucks matches.
Well, again, early on the show, you got an hour Broadway at the end of it, and all those big main events to go into.
But with the time they worked with it, it was a good match.
Yeah.
This is, the last 3 matches we just talked about it. It puts you in the mindset of like, fuck, Bullet Club's going in this night strong.
Right, and so Bullet Club gaining momentum going into the main event, but then not losing the main event, but again, not winning the championship. Then it was Evil, Bushi, and Sonata, Los Ingobernables de Japón in the, it started, this was the Never 6-Man Gauntlet match, which was, I didn't give a star rating to, it was just an insane display of tag teams. It was Bullet Club 6-man tag, a Chaos team, a Suzuki Gun team, a Taguchi Japan team, and of course Los Ingobernables, the current Never Openweight 6-man champions. Talked about it on this show before. If the Never Openweight 6-man championships are retained at any point, it is a big deal. And Los Ingobernables retained the titles. So
against everyone.
Yeah, well, they did come out. They did come out second to last or last, basically, and it was Suzuki Gun coming out before them. And even though Suzuki Gun lost to Taguchi, Juice, and Ricochet, Suzuki Gun continued to attack after they lost, and Los Ingobernables took advantage of that going into the finish. But yeah,
I know it's hated, but I kind of like the fucking Suzuki Gun.
Dude, they're just fucking badasses.
It's just like a pack of fucking assholes. It's just like I can't hate it. It's annoying, but I can't hate it.
I get it. I kind of get a kick out of it with this Never Openweight stuff in the undercard, but when it's like when it leaks into like the Never Openweight, the main event stuff, then it's like, fuck this bullshit. It's too much, too many ref bumps every time. It's a ref bump and the whiskey spitting, but I get a kick. I know what you're saying because I get a kick. I see the whiskey bottle in Tai Chi coming out.
Like,
I'm like, fuck.
It's contained in their own bullshit. So it's just like even like in the Super Juniors when they're fighting each other, it's just like they were just beating the shit out of each other. They couldn't decide on if they're just taking each other out.
Yeah. So
it's just like it's like just a fucking, they should be called Chaos.
right, exactly. I'll kind of go through it a little. It started off with Takahashi, Page, and Bad Luck Fale from the Bullet Club. They lost to Ishii, Yano, and Yoshihashi. Of course, Yano, as soon as he gets tagged in, takes the turnbuckle pad off, so that's in play the entire match. So they win the first one, the Chaos guys. Then Zack Sabre Jr. and the Kanemaru and Tai Chi come out for Suzuki Gun, and Sabre Jr. gets the win with the leverage pin over Yano quickly after the whiskey bottle distraction. So then it's Suzuki Gun moving on. Then it was Tai Chi, Juice, and Ricochet beating Suzuki Gun.
Juice.
But then, like I said, Suzuki Gun with the beat down on Taguchi and the boys after the match, leaving it for Evil, Bushi, and Sonata of Los Ingobernables to get advantage and get in there and get the win to retain those titles.
Nice. We got a streak.
So it opened up, the show did, with Jushin Thunder Liger, Manabu Nakanishi, Satoshi Kojima, and Tenzan taking on Tiger Mask W, Tiger Mask, Yuji Nagata, and Togi Makabe. So the Legends and Tiger Mask W. So it ended up being a bit of a showcase for Tiger Mask W. He looked good, but it was Makabe getting the win with the flying knee drop over Nakanishi.
That's Scotty 2 Makabe.
Correct. Tiger Mask looked good. Got a double Pele kick in there.
Nice.
But Makabe getting the win. Then on the pre-show, it was your Young Lions plus David Finlay. Tetsuhiro Yagi, the newest Young Lion, teaming up with Katsuya Kitamura, the big jacked-up Young Lion, and Hirai Kawato.
I like his new mouth guard.
Kitamura with the vicious tooth mouth guard, and Hirai Kawato. I like his gimmick. He's the young athletic athletic one. He's pulling off springboard missile drop kicks, and his gimmick is when he's in a tag match, usually with legends, but anytime he's in a tag and his teammates get advantage late in the match, he demands a tag, and he comes in and runs wild, and he gets these really close, good near falls, but he can't quite get the win. So those three teamed up against David Finlay, I forget how to pronounce his first name, Shota Umino, son of the Red Shoes referee, and Tomoyuki Oka, the big tough dad bod style young lion. David Finlay gets the win with a stunner in the match. So Finlay busting out a stone cold stunner to get the win here. So
that's neat.
Interesting new finisher from Finlay. During this match, Katsuya Kitamura, he hits really hard. He has these really hard chops, and the commentators couldn't resist.
How about getting a 2.5 count on a chop count?
Yeah, what's your finish, kid? Oh, a chop.
Yeah.
What?
I stiff the shit out of people.
Well, it's been nice working with you.
So yeah, he's like, I stiffed the shit out of people. Oh, nice working with you. So, even on commentary, you're getting some R-rated stuff there. So. But yeah, Dominion, a great show. Undercard was what it was, but man,
5-star.
Those main events, go out of your way, people. Seriously,
it's worth a month's subscription for sure.
Definitely. And we talked about, I don't remember if it was on this show or if it was on Best Pro Wrestling Podcast, with the big shows on Access coming up July 1st and 2nd. I think it was on Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. So we should talk about it here. There's like Sling TV. You can do a week free trial on there, and Access is part of that. So if you want to get caught up on everything going on New Japan, I believe July 1st they're going to be running a marathon of the New Japan shows that they already show on there, the hour-long show that's on every Friday night. Plus, you're going to get the July 1st show. The July 2nd show will air the following week on Access. So, as
a wrestling fan, Sling's the best.
Yeah. And you get USA, you get El Rey Network for your Lucha
That's
Underground.
a big one right there.
So you get all your WWE stuff. You don't get the Pop TV if you're into Impact, unfortunately. But
that's a thing.
All right, well, let's go over.
That's not neat.
Let's go over. We got some brackets for the IWGP US title tournament to talk about, and the rest of the lineups for the July 1st and 2nd shows. So this is another one of these brackets that we should probably fill out. But
yes.
And kind of see who comes out on top of it. But to me, it's a little bit obvious, but we'll kind of go through it here. Michael Elgin's going to be taking on Kenny Omega. So Elgin with the big loss to Cody. Kenny coming out of this 60-minute draw. Where do you go here? I'm feeling Kenny Omega, but I really want to see Elgin
he needs the push,
getting the momentum back. But that might come in the G1 Climax too.
I feel like Omega's gonna do a little bit of damage though, because like at the end of that the post show or the post match interview, it's, I'll see you in America.
Right, and he even said in that promo, you know what? I got to get bigger. I got to get stronger. I'm going to start at the bottom and fight my way back into the main event. I'm not going to face Okada again until I know I'm ready. And I talked about it. I can't remember if it was here or on our other show.
Yeah,
but
the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Correct. I talked about how Kenny Omega should be a prime candidate to have this IWGP
Absolutely.
US title. A lot of people wanted to see him with the big championship coming into these shows. But I think this would be a great way to start off that title with a ton of credibility.
It's the biggest American star over.
Right, and even though he's Canadian.
My bad.
Michael Elgin's Canadian too, it's okay. But Elgin was really over in Japan last year.
I thought that fucker was from like Jersey or Chicago or something.
Elgin being away for a couple of months, losing to Cody. He needs to get momentum back, but I look for Omega to get a win here. And he will be facing the winner of either Jay Lethal or Hangman Page. So whether it's Elgin or Omega, I believe either one of those would defeat.
And Hangman has that win over fucking
Adam Cole.
Lethal.
Right. And so Lethal could possibly, quite probably.
Was it Lethal you pinned or Adam Cole? You got me second guessing now.
Adam Cole. No, you're right.
God damn.
It was
Adam.
It was Adam Cole, actually.
Baby!
Right. So, but a little bit of momentum behind Hangman Page.
Good.
He had in that 6-man match on Ring of Honor. He was in that, and he had a hell of a showing. He does that fucking flip over the top rope and the double lariat in that match.
He's been looking real good.
And he does that flipping or the shooting star off the apron onto the floor all the time. That's a cool move. So Hangman Page got a lot of momentum behind it. But I see either Elgin or Omega coming out on top of that half of the bracket and going to the finals. On the other half of the bracket, Juice Robinson takes on Zack Sabre Jr. It smells like a Zack Sabre win there, but boy, Juice has been getting a big push. But again, Zack Sabre, part of Suzuki Gun. Here comes Tai Chi. Here comes that whiskey bottle. I talked about how too many ref bumps. And if you really want to stand out in America, I feel like keeping it serious is the best way to go. The Suzuki Gun bullshit, the ref bumps, the stuff that makes not only wrestling fans, but non-wrestling fans go, oh, God, it's a fucking pro wrestling, all that bullshit again. Fuck this shit. So, to me,
I feel like Suzuki Gun's just that group that just, like, takes the bullet so they can do that shit, get out of the way, and continue on with the show.
And you're right. That is their role to be there for that and to play spoiler. And again, a guy like Juice Robinson who's getting that push, who's really over in Japan. But then you got another guy, Zack Sabre Jr. He's just as over. Really good wrestler. But now that he's a heel, he can use bullshit to win. And because he uses bullshit, Juice Robinson doesn't necessarily lose anything, and Robinson can look to get his win back at some point in the future. So there's a whole story that you can tell there. Again, both of those guys probably going to be in the G1 Climax. So again, then the other half of that side of the bracket, Tomohiro Ishii and Tetsuya Naito. Ooh. So does Naito get a big win over Ishii and go to the finals with Omega?
He has a want now, though.
That's a big dream match. Yeah, and does Naito want the U.S. title? Does he? I feel like Naito...
It's shiny and new. And isn't he the only one to have every single belt?
That's possible, yes.
So now he doesn't have this.
I don't know if he's ever had the Never belt, but that could be something that he covets. But again, Omega Naito, big dream match there. That could be a Tokyo Dome match. They could save that for a bigger moment. But this is if you want to make a big impact, you could do it here. Again, Omega and Ishii with the story back and forth that they have had with Ishii beating Omega in the opening round of the New Japan Cup. Then Omega beating Ishii in the rematch later on. Going into the match with Okada. So Ishii needing to get some momentum here. Could he go to the finals? So, and again, the Elgin story in there plays into this too. And you could talk Lethal, you can talk Page, you could talk Juice Robinson or Zack Sabre getting to the finals, but I really feel like it's probably going to be Omega, could be Elgin, and probably either Ishii or Naito in the finals of this tournament. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff to look forward to.
Just talking about that just gets you riled up, so that's a good sign.
So again, other matches for the July 1st show, we're going to get the opening round of that tournament. Okada defending against Cody. Let's see. The IWGP tag titles, Guerrillas of Destiny defending against War Machine, presumably in a no disqualification match.
If they have balls.
Let's see, we talked about that. Then Teton, Dragon Lee, Volador Jr., and Jushin Thunder Liger are going to be taking on Takahashi, Bushi, Evil, and Sonata, so the Los Ingobernables guys versus some CMLL guys and Jushin Thunder Liger, so that should be good. Lots of hot action there. Then Roppongi Vice, Will Ospreay, and the Briscoes taking on the Young Bucks, Marty Scurll, Yujiro Takahashi, and Bad Luck Fale. Wow. That's going to be with Ospreay and the Briscoes in there, Roppongi Vice, the Bucks, Marty Scurll. Holy shit. Yeah. That is going to be an insane fucking match on July 1st. Then July 2nd, the finals of the tournament. So it'll be the two semifinals and the finals. Then the IWGP Intercontinental title, Hiroshi Tanahashi defending against Billy Gunn. Again, a name to bring the eyeballs, in my opinion. And the junior heavyweight tag titles, the Young Bucks defend against Roppongi Vice in the rematch here. So that will be obviously very, very good. And then on the Kizuna Road shows building up to over the next few weeks, there's going to be 3 shows at Korakuen Hall, and each one's going to have a main event with some stuff on it. So Suzuki's going to defend the Never Openweight Championship against Yoshihashi on June 26th from after the Never title match at Dominion when Hashi came in, ran wild on Suzuki Gun, and called out Suzuki, so that he's going to defend the title on the 26th. Then the final, let's see. The Never 6-man tags are going to be on the line. Kushida, Juice Robinson, and Taguchi Japan defending or going for the titles against Bushi, Evil, and Sonata. And that'll be on the show coming up on the 20th, so coming up soon. Then the final Kizuna Road show on the 27th, it will be Kushida defending the newly won IWGP Junior title against Bushi, who attacked him and hit him with the mist in the face after the match at Dominion when Kushida was celebrating, got the crowd doing the wave again, and then Bushi comes out, hits him with the mist, and challenges him there. Again, there's a nice little story there because Bushi beat Kushida for the title last year. Kushida regained the title, and that was when Takahashi came out of nowhere with the ticking time bomb gimmick and challenged Kushida for the Tokyo Dome. So a little backstory between these two going in from last year between Bushi and Kushida. But again, that one is on the 27th. So the 20th, 26th, and 27th, some shows with some main events to look forward to for New Japan.
Fuck yeah.
All that plus Best in the World, I think, is on the 23rd, either the 23rd or 26th.
Ultimo Guerrero.
Let me get my notes here. I got it written down. Where did it go?
They're gone.
June 23rd is Best in the World. So the next few weeks, just fucking insanity. So good stuff. All right, let's wrap up Strong Honor with the way we usually do with our buddy Kojima.
Now it's time for the Satoshi Kojima Tweet of the Week.
Follow Kojima on Twitter at cozy_lariat. Now, Kojima hasn't tweeted very much the last couple of weeks, and this is a very serious, sad tweet from Kojima. So get on your Twitters and send your encouraging and good words to cozy_lariat. My dog died on 5th. Very sad. I had a wonderful time in the 13 years I spent with him. I will not forget forever. So, like I said, a sad week for Kojima. So, send him your encouraging words.
Yes, that is a bummer. Way to bring us down.
Sorry. It was such a positive show with all the good rest, and look at he didn't have much tweeting to do. So, that was like the best. I mean,
send him some bread, love.
Yeah. Send him some bread.
Yeah.
Cheer the guy up.
Hard bread.
Follow me on Twitter at Tommy Stryker with a Y. Follow the show at Strong Honor. Make sure you check out our other show, The Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. You can go to bestprowrestlingpodcast.com and check out all the other great shows here on thefanspodcast.com and follow at The Fans Podcast. Taco, where can people find you?
You can follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, at HGREV Taco.
And you can follow me at Joe BPWP. That's at Joe Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
That's going to do it for Strong Honor this week. Thanks for checking it out. Bye!
Adios.
It's wonderful. How are you doing this evening, gentlemen? What a week it's been. So much to talk about.